And welcome to another core and mobility session with me, Nzali Bangisi from the Sports Science Institute of South Africa in Newlands, Cape Town. For those of you who are just joining us today for the first time, I want to give you a big welcome. And today's session is focused on mobility and core. Right, so it is getting colder, it's getting gloomier, but we still have the opportunity to take this and do this session in the comfort of your home. So if you are sitting there watching this afternoon, I invite you to come and join me as we start our mobility section. Right, so we're going to be starting kneeling on the mat with one leg out in front of you. Right, so I just put my towel underneath my knee for some cushioning. Remember, if you do have any injuries or any medical conditions, please make sure that you do have a medical clearance from your GP, your physical therapist, or your biokineticist before doing any of these movements today. And make sure that if you are doing any movements that you're not pushing yourself to pain. Right. So, one leg out in front, one leg out at the back, 90 degrees in both legs. We're going to start off with the hip flexor stretch. So you're basically just going to keep your back upright and going to push your hips forward. So I can see that leg going forward and I'm feeling a nice stretch here in front of my hip flexors. If you're already feeling the stretch, that's fine, you can stay there. But if you want a deeper stretch, you're going to lift your other hand, right hand, opposite hand to the one that's in front, and you're going to bend over to the side. And that goes a little bit deeper in my hip flexors. Remember, we want to regularly open up those hip flexors as we might be sitting for long periods of time. Our hip flexors tend to get a little bit tight in those positions, and these stretches are quite important. So we hold these stretches for about 15 seconds, and we're going to swap sides. So other leg in front, I have my right leg in front, and I'm just going to push my hips forward, keeping my back upright. And if I want a deeper stretch, I lift my left arm up and I twist over to the side. Right, good. Now you're going to stay in that position. Take the front leg and extend it out straight. Push your heel into the ground and your toe is pointing up to the ceiling. Now we're going for that hamstring stretch. If you can already feel it upright like this, that's perfect. Otherwise, bring your hands down to the ground, leaning forward, and you feel a nice stretch going up your back in the hamstrings. And just hold these stretches for about 15 seconds. Good, and before we move to the next one, we're going to take the same leg and we're going to bring it across your body. So cross it over your body, bend knee and straighten the back leg. Now you're going to be sitting into this glute, feeling the stretch on the glute. And you can go down as far as you can. Make sure that your knee is pointing straight ahead of you and your knee is in the middle. Try not to drop your hip down to the ground, otherwise you're not effectively stretching. So keep your hip up square in front and your knee is pointing up, your toe is pointing to the other side. And you can go up or down as far as you can hold that stretch and just relax here. Right, that's good. Now we're going to swap over to the other side. So, leg out in front, straighten the leg, heel into the ground, toes pointing up, and let's go down into your hamstring stretch. Right, remember, just relax everything else and just feel that stretch as much as you can. Try not to tense in your body. Right, now we're going to that other stretch. Leg out in front, straighten the leg behind you, sit into your glute. See my knees pointing forward, my toes pointing out towards that side, and I just sit into the stretch, feeling it in my glutes. Right, and that's good. Now we're going to go into your quadruped position, so all fours, making sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips and your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Right, so you're in that position there, and we're going to go into a thread the needle. So I'm going to take my one arm and I'm going to bring it in the middle of my other arm. So what I'm trying to do is get my shoulder to touch the ground, relax my head on the ground as I'm stretching the back here by in between my shoulder blades. Right, so I take my arm, I thread in, and I just relax in that motion. So try and get your shoulder to touch the ground. And you're going to come back up. Remember, we hold for 15 seconds. And we're going to do the other side. So other hand in between, shoulder touching, head relaxed. And try to reach with your arm to the other side as you feel the stretch on your back in between your shoulder blades. Right, and then come back all the way up. Reposition yourself into that quadruped position on all fours. Remember, your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Make sure you're not sagging into your arms and you keep your back nice and strong. Right, so we're going to go into that Superman. So opposite arm, opposite leg out. Keep the other hand and knee on the ground, right? And you're going to release, making sure that your hips do not twist over, right? So the point here is to keep your hips nice and square. Just imagine there's a glass of water on your lower back and you don't want to drop the glass of water. So you're going to release, opposite arm, opposite leg out. And as we hold that position, I want us to come all the way in. So you get your elbow and your knee to touch in the middle without touching the ground. So you're going to go in, squeeze, draw in your stomach, belly button up, and lift. Now we're going to do the same side. We're going to go for 5 each side. In, squeeze, and lift. Control that movement as much as you can. 3. Nice and slowly. 4. Squeeze. And 5. Reposition yourself, and we're going to go to the other side. So as you're coming in from your ankle, your elbow to your knee, make sure that you are hollowing out your stomach so that you get that activation and that connection in your abdominals. So let's move over to the other side. Release arm and leg, and let's go in. Hollow out the stomach. 1, 2, 3, keep it going, 4, and 5. Good. We're going to do that one more time, and we're going to go 5 each side. This is still part of our mobility section, right? So we haven't started the core. We just want to activate a little bit here. Push your hands out into the mat. Make sure that your back is nice and strong. No sagging. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. So try not to shrug as much as possible. Right, so we're going to go starting with the one side again. Lift arm and leg. And in to touch. and release. 1, 2. You really want to curl your chin in as well, so that you get that hollowing out as much as you can. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Release, and let's do the other side. Touch in, hollow out. 1. Really squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Keep that leg up. And 5. Well done. Good. So now that we're a little bit warm and a little bit more mobile, let's start our core section. So we are going to start quadruped position. So staying in that position that we started off in. Right, so now what we're going to do, you're going to curl your toes underneath you. So instead of your toes relaxed out, curl your toes underneath. And you're going to lift your knees off the ground, about 2 centimeters off the ground. So we're going into that fury plank position to start with, right? And then we're going to add some side taps. So we're going to go 10 and 5 each side. So you're going to lift your knees off. Remember to carry on pushing through your wrist so that your back doesn't sag or get lazy. You really want to make sure your back is strong. Okay, lift your knees off and you tap to the side, tap to the side. Remember the key here as well, look at your hips, make sure your hips are not moving or tilting as you're tapping. Another thing is, don't just use your foot to tap. Remember, both your knee and your foot must release each side. Right, so with your knees off the ground, and we're going to go 10 taps in total, 5 each side. Ready? 3, 2, 1, lift, and let's go. 1, nice and slowly. 2, go with me. 3, 4, 5, 6, both your knees, keep your knees off the ground. 8, 9, 10. Well done, good. That was our first one. We're going to move on to the second one, where you're going to need either your towel or a pillow or any type of cushioning. If you have a small bowl that's nice and cushiony, that's perfect. You're just going to wrap it around, make it nice and compact. Put it in between your knees. We're still going to be in that quadruped position. So I'm going to squeeze this towel and make sure it doesn't fall. So as I squeeze the towel, I'm keeping it between my knees. And what we're going to do, you're going to lift your knees off the ground and extend your legs as you squeeze in your towel or your pillow and back down. When we're going down, you do not release your knees onto the ground. You keep them hovering 2 centimeters off the ground. So you stay in that fury plank. So all you're doing here is that squeeze in between your thighs into that adduction, and you're going to extend your legs. So as close to as your feet can get, that's perfect. Try not to rotate them out like that. Keep your feet as close as you can get them if your towel is very small. Right, but you want to keep your towel there, so you squeeze your thighs together, and we're going to start with the extension. So first, lift your knees off the ground. Perfect. Now I'm squeezing that towel to keep it there, and you extend your legs. Your bum is up in the ceiling. Hollow out your stomach, belly button away from your shirt, and release. Keep your knees off the ground and extend. 3, good. 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going, 8, 9, and 10, and release. Well done. Okay, you can take your towel out or your pillow, whatever you're using. And for the last one, we're going to go into a rotation. So we're using more of our obliques here. So you're going to lift your knees off the ground. As you release your right arm, you're going to twist over to the right as your left leg twists into an extension. So lift, out, release, touch. Touch touching your toe in that position. Come back in, knees bent. Remember, we're not releasing the knees down. So let me show you the other side. Out, touch, back, in. Right, so we're going to do 5 each side, 10 in total. You still with me? If you can't extend your leg all the way, that's perfect. Just twist, touch your knee, back in. Touch your knee, back in. If you cannot extend your leg over. Right, let's get going. Lift your knees off the ground and twist, touch, 1, 2. Keep it controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. That was our first set of those 3 exercises. If you need a little break, grab some water. And we're going to go straight to the second set. Right. So remember, the first one was tapping out. Let's get into your quadruped position. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath hips, and we lift and tap. 1. Knees and feet together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Well done. Grab your towel or your pillow, cushion it up in between the knees. Remember, with this one, we're squeezing as hard as you can with your thighs as we lift and release. Extending your legs, bending your legs. Ready. 3, 2, 1. Lift, squeeze, and extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, you don't put your knees down. 8. Keep them hovering off the ground. 9 and 10. Nice. Take your towel or your pillow out, and for the last one, we're going to our rotations. So knees off the ground, and as we kick our leg in, straighten, we touch with the opposite arm. If you can't straighten, please keep your knee bent. Right, so lift, out, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, keep going, 9, 10. Well done. That was our second set, nice and quick. We're going to go for one more set. If you haven't got it, you will get it now. So it's our last set here. Set yourself up again. We're starting off with our taps. Right. Okay. Lifting knees off the ground and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. 5, 6. Make sure your knee is moving with your foot. 9, 10. Release. Grab your pillow or your towel. In between your knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And extend and bend. Right, tuck your toes underneath you. We're ready? And lift and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, squeeze that towel, and 10. Great. And we're going to lastly into our rotations. Right, position yourself. And we're going straight leg kick. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and up. Touch. 1. Remember, if you can't go straight leg, keep it bent leg. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, keep going, 10, and release. Well done. That was your 3 sets done. You can take a sip of water if you need, and we're going to lastly end off with our 2 timed exercises. Right, guys, are we ready to finish this off? So, 2 exercises. We're going to start off in a plank position. We're going to go into a pike, but remember, with this one, I want you to stimulate, or the movement should be coming from your abdominals. So don't just lift your bum to the ceiling, but you're using your abdominals to lift. So we're in a plank position, and as you're moving up, hollowing out my stomach, lifting my bum to the ceiling, and back down. So I'm not just lifting the bum, I'm using my abdominals to really draw myself up and back in. Right. So we're going out and down, out and down. Good. So we're going to go for 30 seconds with that one, and we're going to go straight to the second one. So the second one looks like this. Side plank. Your bottom leg is bent, your top leg will be straight. So the bottom leg will stay on the ground, both knee and foot and ankle, staying on the ground. So remember here, set yourself up nicely. Make sure your arm is not all the way over there, but it's right underneath your shoulder, so you can anchor yourself in a correct manner. Make sure that you're not anchoring only from the shoulder. Otherwise, you're going to put all your weight on your shoulder, whereas this movement should be from the obliques. So knees staying on the ground. Make sure your hips are stacked nicely, directly to the ceiling, lifting up off the ground. So the other leg will lift off as well, and your top arm will go straight overhead next to your ear. What you're going to do here, you're going to come in the middle, ankle, knee to elbow touch, and release. Knee to elbow touch, release. If you want to make this harder, you're more than welcome to straighten your legs out, go into a full side plank, lift off, down, and release. Right. Otherwise, you can just do the modified version. So, we're doing each one for 30 seconds. So the side plank will go 15 seconds each side, and it must be a quick change between the two. So I will time for you guys and with you guys so that we can go together. Right, so starting in the plank position, please remember, when you're going up in your pike, the movement comes from your abdominals. Okay, so elbows underneath your shoulders, set yourself up nicely, and we're going in 5 seconds. Get ready, 3, 2, 1, plank, and let's lift. 1. Exhale as you lift and really hollow out that stomach. Down. Good. Keep pushing your belly button up and away from your shirt as you're moving up and down. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Well done. Straight into your side plank. Bottom leg bent. Staying on the ground. Make sure you anchored nicely. Lifting from the obliques. And we're going into a side plank oblique crunch. Get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Squeeze, release. Make sure you're not twisting your body so that your body faces up. Keep it stacked. Good. And we're swapping over to the other side. And let's go. Three, two, one, release. Well done. And we're going to go straight to our plank pike. We're starting in the next 5 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, plank and lift. Really draw in your stomach as you're lifting up, looking at your toes. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Side plank. Set yourself up. We're going in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's crunch. 1. Really squeeze, touch. 2. Keep going. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Swap over to the other side. Side plank. And let's lift. Keep squeezing. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. That was good. And let's move over to the last set. Hope you guys are still with me. Right, ready. Plank. 2, 1. Let's go. Really draw in that stomach and lift. Four, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Into your side plank. Bottom bent, top leg straight. And let's go to our oblique crunches. Ready? 5, 4, 3, lift off with your obliques. 1, and let's crunch. 1, release. 2, if you want to make it harder, just extend both legs out and keep going. Almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and release. Other side. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Out you go. Really squeeze in the middle. Almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and you've made it. Let's go into our last stretches. Bring your heels towards your bum. Reach out as far as you can. And really relax. You want to drop your heel, your bum in between your heels as you round your spine. And we can twist over to the one side with your arms. Feel the stretch going on the other side. Stay in that position. And let's move to the other side. and back to the middle. As we conclude this core and mobility for today, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. If you didn't join in, please do next time. And I will see you guys same time, same place next week, Monday. Enjoy the week.